Welcome to Model 1. I'm super excited to have you join us in this journey of raising capital through investment crowdfunding. As a free bonus to joining this course, I'm going to be giving to you a document that helps you structure your data room. A data room is where your company has all the information required to successfully and conveniently and easily make an application. It basically is designed for you to provide all data, including financial records, director records, institutional records that can easily be accessed and checked by any investor or any intermediary that is looking at your application. And that is free for everyone who has just joined. You can click the download button to access that document. You can also easily create it in Google Drive by simply following the instructions on the document. Now, let's get into Model 1. Model 1 basically is focusing on the issuer. So, according to the investment crowdfunding regulation, the issuer is the business. And no individual can raise capital on the investment crowdfunding platform except a business. So, whether you're a sole proprietor, or a limited liability, or any structure you have, you can raise through investment crowdfunding. The powerful thing about investment crowdfunding is that you are not required to have a $200,000 minimum investment like it is within the GIPC regulations. You don't have that limitation here. You're able to raise any amount, anything between equity or debt. This is going to be focusing on debt because it's easier to raise and many businesses can easily access that. So for the debt crowdfunding, as it's technically called, we want to start with the person doing the application. We want to be able to reach you and know you as a person. What's your contact number? What's your first name? What's your last name? How do we reach you? Because you are going to be the main touch point for the application. After you've provided that, we're going to look at the company's basic information. This is critical. It's also, the term is also the issuer information. So things like, what's the ownership type? Is it a limited liability? Is it a sole proprietorship? Is it a partnership? We need to understand that. All that is very critical. What's the registration ID, right? And what's the company description? What type of industry is this company, focused in? And also, what's the official contact details of that company? And what's the date of incorporation? These critical information is provided first. And that's why the data room is key, because if you already have the data room, you can easily access this information and submit it. The next set of information we're going to look for you will be the company documents itself, and this will be required to be uploaded in that part of your application. When I say the company document, I mean incorporation certificate, commencement certificates, investor decks, either video and a link on how to prepare an investor pitch or an investor deck. If you have a pitch video already, it'd be great to actually put it here because it makes it very easy. And also, when do you want to start the campaign and when do you want to end it? And when do you plan to use the capital, when you plan to pay it back to investors? That is a key component that we want to look at. And then you also want to describe the project in detail at that phase. Once you've been able to do that, now we want to look at the corporate contact details. This is super important. Why? Because the company contact details is how we're going to visit the company and do on-site due diligence. Why is this required for an intermediary? It's required for an intermediary because the regulation has put the responsibility of ensuring that the business applying is real and is operational on the intermediary. The intermediary is actually going to visit your premises and check that this business is real. That's why it makes sure you can tell it what your company address is so far as your documentation is concerned and what the actual business location is. What do I mean? When people register companies, sometimes they will have maybe East Legon as on the registration as the company address, but in practice they moved from East Legon and they are now in Accra, where they are running their business. So the intermediary wants to know all these things. Also want to know what region you're operating from and what city, because it's required by law that they do that on behalf of your investors. So think of the intermediaries as the guys doing the due diligence on behalf of your investors. And the final but most critical thing is, do you have any digital footprints? This is coming very handy because once you have digital footprints like website and social media handles with active work going on, it makes it super good for the intermediary because not only do they see that you're actively working, but they get to visit you and see activities that's ongoing within your company. And that's super exciting because it makes the work very easy. And that's what I want to encourage you to make sure that you have all these things completed effectively. So thank you once again for being part of this model. And if you need assistance to structure your data room and to gather this information, the free tools I've given to you is going to make that easy. Or you can also reach out to me for one-on-one consultation services. Thank you, and look forward to joining you in Module 2, where we go through the details of how to raise capital through investment crowdfunding.